the world of US coins, there is one series that has created more hidden treasure stories than almost any other one, the Washington quarter dollar. Every single day, millions of these coins pass through our hands without a second thought. We use them for shopping, parking, vending machines, and snacks, never realizing that some of these ordinary-looking quarters are actually worth thousands of dollars, and a few rare ones have even sold for over $100,000 at major auctions. Yes, and the same quarter that looks just like every other one in your pocket could secretly be a life-changing treasure. Many collectors say the Washington quarter is the series where fortune hides in plain sight. Why? Because some of its most valuable coins are not ancient, not limited editions, and not impossible to find. They are real circulation coins with rare dates, key mint marks, dramatic minting errors, and special silver compositions that make them extremely valuable today. And the best part? Many of these valuable quarters are still out there, mixed in pocket change, old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten coin rolls sitting in drawers. Imagine this. You reach into your pocket and pull out a random 25-cent coin. It looks normal, but with the right date, the right mint mark, or a rare mistake made at the US Mint, that simple quarter could be worth the price of a brand new iPhone, a motorcycle, or even a down payment on a house. These rare coins are real, they are valuable, and thousands of people have already found them by pure luck. In today's video, I will reveal the most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins ever discovered. These are the rare pieces every collector must know about. The coins that turn beginners into treasure hunters, and the hidden gems that can appear anywhere, even inside your wallet right now. So stay with me till the end, because by the time you finish this video, you will never look at a quarter the same way again. First coin, the 1965 Washington quarter, the transitional era worth a fortune. The year 1965 is one of the most shocking and mysterious years in the history of US quarters. Normally, a 1965 Washington quarter is a common coin made from clad metal, worth only 25 cents. But hidden among millions of ordinary coins from this year is one of the rarest and most valuable transitional errors ever created by the US Mint, a 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet, a mistake that should never have happened. To understand why this coin is so valuable, you need to know what was happening in 1965. The United States Mint was ending the use of 90% silver in quarters due to rising silver prices. The last official silver quarters were made in 1964, and from 1965 onward, quarters were supposed to be made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. But during this chaotic transition, something extraordinary happened. A few leftover silver blanks from 1964 accidentally got mixed into the 1965 production. The Mint unknowingly struck a very small number of 965 dated quarters on 90% silver planchets, creating one of the most valuable modern US coin errors. These rare silver 1965 quarters look almost identical to regular ones, making them incredibly hard to spot. But the value difference is massive. A regular 1965 clad quarter is worth 25 cents, but a 1965 silver transitional error can easily bring $7,000, $10,000, $12,000, and in high mint state condition, more than $20,000 at major auctions. The highest graded examples have stunned collectors with unbelievably high prices, proving just how rare this error truly is. Collectors love this coin because it represents a moment in US coin history when change, confusion, and mistakes resulted in pure treasure. The silver 1965 quarter is the kind of coin that turns a normal day into an unforgettable one. Imagine finding a simple quarter in your drawers, testing it, and realizing it's a 5-figure coin. It is the reason why millions of people still check their pocket change. How do you identify one? The easiest signs are a solid silver edge with no visible copper stripe, a slightly different ring when dropped on a hard surface, and a weight of 6.25 grams instead of the regular 567 grams. But because most people never check their coins that carefully, many of these rare 1965 silver quarters are likely still floating around, waiting to be discovered. This coin is not just rare, it is the ultimate reminder that the biggest treasures often come disguised as ordinary change. And that is why the 1965 Washington quarter silver transitional error is one of the most valuable modern US quarters you should always look for. Next coin, the 1974 Washington quarter, the rare aluminum and mint error mystery coin. The 1974 Washington quarter is one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in modern American numismatics. While most people think of 1974 quarters as completely ordinary, worth only face value, the truth is that this year hides one of the rarest experimental coins and some shocking mint errors that have sold for huge money. The story behind the 1974 quarter is full of secrecy, government testing, and rare mistakes that slipped into circulation. In the early 1970s, the U.S. Mint was searching for cheaper metals to replace traditional coin compositions. Inflation was rising, metal costs were becoming unstable, and the Mint began testing new materials for coins. During these experiments, a small number of 1974 quarters were struck on aluminum planchets, a lightweight metal never used for standard quarters. These aluminum test pieces were never approved for circulation and were supposed to be destroyed, but somehow a few of them escaped the Mint and ended up in private hands. These pieces are so rare that most collectors have never even seen one, and the U.S. government has historically requested their return because they were never officially released. If one ever appeared at auction today, its value could easily reach $50,000 to over $100,000, maybe even more because of its history, secrecy, and rarity. Some consider the 1974 aluminum quarter to be one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coinage. But that's not the only reason the 1974 quarter is special. This year also produced several dramatic mint errors that regularly sell for big money. There are 1974 quarters struck on the wrong planchet, such as copper cents, nickel planchets, and even foreign coin blanks. These wrong planchet errors can sell anywhere from $500 to over $5,000, depending on the metal and the condition. Another highly collectible variety is the 1974 double die quarter, where parts of the lettering, especially "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," appear doubled. These doubled die errors are rare and often overlooked by beginners, but collectors love them because strong doubling can bring $300 to $2,500 or more, especially in higher grades. Even a simple off-center 1974 quarter can be worth good money. Off-centers with large shifts, 40%, 50%, or more, can bring $200 to $800, while dramatic off-centers with full date visible can fetch over $1,000. The 1974 Washington quarter teaches an important lesson. Not every valuable coin comes from the early 1900s or the silver era. Some of the biggest treasures were created by chance, hidden inside modern dates that people ignore every day. Whether it's the extremely rare aluminum test piece, a wrong planchet strike, a double die variety, or a major off-center error, the 1974 quarter proves that the world of rare coins is full of surprises. So the next time you see a quarter from 1974, look closely, because this might be a hidden treasure. Next coin, the 1982 Washington quarter, the valuable No-Mintmark, rare errors and high-grade treasure. The 1982 Washington quarter is one of those coins that looks so common, so ordinary that almost nobody pays attention to it. But hidden behind this simple date is one of the most surprising modern rarities in the entire quarter series. A coin that collectors chase intensely, especially in high-grade condition. And because 1982 was a special year for the U.S. Mint, some extremely valuable mint errors were also created, making this year even more important for treasure hunters. In 1982, the U.S. Mint was struggling financially. To save money, they made a big decision. They stopped producing mint sets for collectors. This meant that the only way to get high-quality 1982 quarters was from circulation. No special mint sets, no collector packaging, no fresh strike coins. As a result, most 1982 quarters entered everyday circulation immediately, got scratched, worn, dented, or damaged. Finding one today in spotless mint state condition is extremely difficult, and when collectors do find a high-grade example, the value jumps dramatically. The most famous and valuable piece from this year is the 1982 P Washington quarter with the missing mint mark, simply known as the No-P quarter. Normally, Philadelphia minted coins carry a P mint mark, but due to a mistake at the mint, a die was accidentally used without the mint mark. A small number of these No-P quarters were released into circulation in 1982 before anyone noticed. Today, a regular 1982 P quarter is worth face value, but a true 1982 No-P quarter can sell for $400, $800, $500, and in the highest mint state grades, over $2,500. But the story doesn't end there. The 1982 quarter also has some truly impressive error coins. Some were struck on wrong planchets, including copper cent blanks, nickel planchets, and even experimental foreign coin metals. These wrong-planchet errors can bring $600 to over $2,500, depending on the metal and strike quality. There are also 1982 off-center strikes that show major shifts, where part of the design is missing. If the off-center is large and the date is still visible, these can easily sell for $300 to $900. Dramatic broad strikes, where the coin expands outward without a rim, can also bring strong value because they are visually impressive and very collectible. Collectors also search for strong double-die varieties from this year. Doubling on IGWT, Liberty, or the date can bring $150 to $600, especially in well-preserved condition. And because the US Mint produced billions of coins in 1982, spotting these mistakes can be easy, if you know what to look for. But the biggest treasure of all is high grade. Because there were no mint sets in 1982, finding a perfect or near-perfect 1982 quarter is incredibly rare. Coins graded MS-66 and MS-67 have shocked collectors by selling for $2,000 to over $3,000 simply because so few exist in pristine condition. Next coin, the 1983 Washington quarter, the rare no-mint set year, high-value varieties and shocking mint errors. The 1983 Washington quarter is one of the most surprising modern treasures in U.S. coin collecting. At first glance, it looks like the most ordinary coin imaginable. Something you'd find in pocket change, vending machines, or old jars. But hidden behind this simple date is a rarity created by unexpected circumstances, mint decisions, and some dramatic errors that today sell for incredible prices. The 1983 quarter is a coin that proves you should never underestimate modern dates, because some of the biggest jackpots in the hobby come from the 1980s. Just like in 1982, the US Mint made a major decision in 1983. They did not produce mint sets for collectors. This means that almost every 1983 quarter entered circulation immediately. No protected packaging, no special collector strikes, no fresh untouched coins. As a result, most 1983 quarters are heavily worn, scratched or damaged, and finding one in perfect mint state condition is extremely difficult. And whenever supply is low and collector demand is high, prices explode. The most valuable example of this phenomenon is the 1983 P. Washington quarter, because it came from a year with no mint sets. High-grade examples have reached stunning prices at auctions. A regular circulated 1983 P quarter is worth face value, but a pristine MS-67 example has sold for over $4,000, and in some cases even more. That's the power of rarity mixed with modern collector demand. But the real excitement begins with the errors and varieties. One of the most sought-after errors from 1983 is the double, de reverse, DDR. Especially strong doubling on the word quarter dollar, the eagle's wings, or United States of America. These double die varieties can bring $400, $800, even points and $500, depending on the strength of the doubling and the condition of the coin. 1983 is also known for dramatic off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing. If the date is still visible and the off-center shift is large, 40%, 50% or more, these errors can easily sell for $300 to over $1,000. Even more valuable are the wrong-planchet errors. Some 1983 quarters were accidentally struck on copper cent planchets, nickel planchets, or even foreign coin blanks. These are extremely collectible and can sell from $800 to over $3,000, depending on the metal and strike clarity. There are also clipped planchet errors, broad strikes, and double strikes from this year that collectors love. Because 1983 was a year of heavy production and fast minting machinery, mistakes happened. And some of those mistakes are now worth big money. But the biggest treasure from 1983 is still the high-grade Philadelphia strike. Because there were no mint sets, very few well-preserved examples exist today. Coins graded MS-66 and MS-67 command huge prices, and collectors constantly search rolls, old jars, and inherited change to find this coin. Next coin, the 1992 Washington quarter, the rare silver-proof error, deep cameo value, and surprising modern treasures. The 92 Washington quarter is one of those dates that millions of people ignore every single day, but hidden within this year is one of the most shocking modern mint mistakes. A rare transitional silver-proof error, along with some high-grade collector treasures that can turn an ordinary pocket coin into serious money. This year proves once again that modern coins can deliver big surprises. To understand why 1992 is so valuable, You need to know what was happening at the US Mint. By the early 1990s, the Mint was producing both regular circulation, quarters for everyday use, and special silver-proof quarters for collectors. These silver proofs were made only for proof sets, and they were supposed to be struck with a deep mirrored finish, packaged securely and never mixed with regular circulation coins. But during the production process, something unusual happened. A small number of 1992p and 1992s quarter proofs were accidentally struck using the wrong planchets or wrong dies, creating some of the rarest modern quarters in the entire series. The most famous of these is the 1992s, silver-proof quarter struck with a regular clad die. This error is extremely rare because the design details and edge characteristics do not match the metal composition. These rare transitional errors can sell for $5,000, $7,000, and sometimes over $10,000, depending on condition and certification. There is also the opposite and equally valuable mistake, a 1992 clad quarter struck with a silver die, creating a stunning appearance and collectible rarity that can bring thousands of dollars. These unusual combinations happen when the Mint mixes dies and planchets during machine changes, leading to coins that should never exist. Collectors also search for high-grade circulation strikes, because finding a flawless 1992 quarter is extremely difficult. Most were used heavily, scratched, and worn out through decades of use. But in recent years, pristine Mint state survivors graded MS67 or higher have shocked collectors by selling for $800, fun $200, even up to $3,000. The 1992 proof coins are also a big deal. A perfect 1992s silver-proof deep cameo can bring $150 to $400. An ultra-high-grade PR70 deep cameo pieces can exceed $1,000, especially early strikes with strong frosting and mirror contrast. Then come the dramatic Mint errors. In 1992, there were off-center quarters, double-struck coins, broad strikes, and clipped planchets that collectors love. Large off-center strikes with a full date visible can sell for $300 to $1,000, double-struck 1992 quarters, especially those showing both impressions clearly, can command $500 to $2,000. Wrong planchet errors are the real jackpot from this year. Coins struck on dime planchets, cent planchet, or foreign metal blanks. These can bring $1,000 to over $3,500, depending on rarity and condition. And there you have it, some of the most valuable and surprising Washington quarter dollar coins ever created. Each of these coins carries a hidden story. A mistake at the Mint, a rare metal change, a missing mint mark, or a high-grade survivor that almost nobody expected. These quarters prove one thing: treasure is still out there. Not buried in the ground, not locked inside museums, but sitting quietly in jars, drawers, old wallets, and pocket change across the world. Every time you pick up a quarter now, you're not just holding a simple 25-cent coin. You're holding a piece of American history. A coin that might contain a rare error, an extremely valuable variety, or a hidden detail that turns ordinary metal into a big payday. People have found $1,000 coins by accident, and there's no reason the next lucky discovery can't be yours. So keep searching. Check your change, check old savings, check rolls, and look closely at every date and mint mark, because the Washington Quarter Series is full of surprises, and the next life-changing coin could be just one good find away. If you enjoyed this video and want more valuable coin secrets, rare mint errors, and shocking coin values that can change your life, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your next rare coin discovery might be waiting in your pocket right now.